What's going on behind the scenes and off the microphone at the Magic Word podcast? Hear what listeners and guests are saying that isn't on the podcast this week on The Magic Whisper.
Hello, this is Scott Wells for the MagicWordPodcast.com, but this is the Magic Whisper. Yeah, this is something brand new that I wanted to try. It's just a different way of trying to do a video and to have a very short thing. My idea is, again, to have a short video that will give you some information kind of behind the scenes of whenever I'm talking with some of my guests, to hear a little bit more of some of the conversation, to tell you a little bit more perhaps of what they had said. Sometimes when we cut the microphone, the conversation continues to go. So I want to kind of have that, as well as having an opportunity for you to give me some suggestions as to who you think I might want to have as a guest on an upcoming thing. Also, whether that if you like the format that we're already using, or if there are some other suggestions maybe that you might have. But we also are going to be giving you some magic news from time to time, something that's a little bit more topical. Whenever I post the Magic Word podcast, I like for that to be something that would be just as important 5 years, 20 years from now as it is this week. However, that with the Magic Whisper, those are things that people are whispering to me and hearing about this or that. I'm not going to be spreading gossip nor rumors, but I do want to kind of get things out there whenever it is topical and people need to know about what's going to be going on. So again, I want to kind of give you an idea from week to week who's going to be on that week or this coming week, and maybe even give you a short soundbite from what it is that we discussed, just kind of a little excerpt, and then also giving you perhaps a suggestion, or not telling you who's going to be coming up then this next week as well. You can, of course, get that information from the pod letter if you subscribe to that, but this is going to be something that'll give you some information then here right now. Again, just kind of in this video format. And like this week, we're going to be having Professor Richard Wiseman, who is a psychologist specializing in the paranormal. It's quite interesting. I was going to save it until October, but I just couldn't wait. This is just fantastic. And Richard's got so much then to say as well. So again, I really need to have feedback from you, the viewer, as I reach 850 episodes. This particular week will be number 842. I want to see if I can make the podcast grow. Right now, we have a pretty good demographic. I would say, what I understand, that our demographics are that I have 22% of my audience is made up from the age group of 35 to 44, and 34% of the audience is between 45 and 59, and 29% is 60 and older. And we are reaching over 60 countries then right now. So again, I'm satisfied with the demographic and everyone that we're reaching, but I'd like to extend that beyond the 10,000 listeners we currently have. And one way, of course, is by you helping to spread the word, the magic word, and telling others about it in your magic clubs, wherever that you happen to be talking with other magicians. If you're out to lunch or dinner or in a session with them, you just say, hey, I happened to hear so-and-so the other day. I heard Harry Lorraine. It was on the Magic Word. Do you listen to that? Try to get some other people to listen to it. This would be greatly helpful to help the podcast to grow, certainly. So that's really, again, where that you come in, because I appreciate all that you do already in tuning in and listening to this. And all you have to do is just send me an email, if you wish, with some of your suggestions that could come to me at scott@themagicwordpodcast.com, or you can give me some other, reach me through WhatsApp. You can reach me through, you could text me, of course, Facebook Messenger. There are so many different ways about how that we can, again, how you can reach out to get me. And again, that's just want to have you tell me what it is you like, what you don't like, some advice on which direction that I should go with them. Perhaps if you are listening to other podcasts, you might say, hey, here's a good idea of something that they do. You might think about doing something kind of like that too in your podcast. So I would just kind of like to hear how I can improve this podcast. And again, I want to improve it so you, the listener, will enjoy that. I know that I'm doing a lot of these podcasts week after week, and particularly conventions, whenever I'm going to be giving daily reports. It's like trying to take a drink from a fire hydrant, because there's so much that's coming at you all the time, certainly. I'm going to be going to Abbott's get-together in Colon, Michigan, coming up later this month of July, and then from there directly on the next day to Las Vegas for Magic Live, where, again, there'll be about 1,600 magicians there. And so if you can't make it, if you're one of the few 1,600 outside the 1,600, and you want to kind of know what's going on, I'll be posting some daily reports from there as well. So again, I don't know necessarily about what kind of changes that I'm going to make, if any. It has to do exactly with what you can give me, of what you want to hear, and also as I said, different ways of trying to reach me. And one of the things, for an example, what's this? Oh, I got something that just handed to me for an example. Here was something that was from Al the Only, who had just written me, and he was making some suggestions for potential guests. He was saying Jeff Bibick. Jeff is a seasoned professional in various forms of magic, including bar and comedy magic. He's prominently featured in the Chicago Magic Lounge and worked at the Magic Castle. Jeff has also created and marketed several magic tricks and routines. He's right. He would be a great guest, and he was a good guest. He was someone who was in an earlier episode that I already had of the Magic Word. Another one he suggests is Michael Mode. Michael has a rich background as a full-time magician who is specializing in close-up magic and performing at events like auto shows. He has worked with notable figures in magic like Copperfield and Franz Harari, and he continues to be involved in the magic community, particularly in the administration of the Abbott's Collectors Facebook page. He's created and marketed a few tricks. Michael's passion for performing and collecting and extensive experience might be a compelling guest. I haven't talked with Michael. I've spoken with him a few times on the past where he has, I've had him seen him at conventions, had some brief content with him. And then, but I haven't talked with Michael on an episode. That would be a good one. Bill Cook is another one. Bill says you can find Bill, and as a mover and shaker, despite his young age, he's achieved considerable success and professionalism in magic. His dedication is an approachable demeanor would resonate well with your listeners. He's worked hard. He's a great, conscientious person and an ultimate pro. I've known Bill for so long, and he would be great. A lot of times, some of these guys are hard to get hold of because of how busy they are. Jessica Jane Peterson. She's a worker who needs to be recognized and is applauded for the things she's done. Anyhow, I did do one with Jessica also, which was interesting. We actually were sitting in a car trying to find some place that was difficult. And so I was in the front seat with her, and I was in the driver's seat. She was in the passenger seat. So we had a good, nice little studio, good sound. So you can go back and hear that excellent one that we had as well. Two other brief people. John LaChance is another suggestion. He's another kid who is rocking the entertainment world. I've known John since his wannabe days to becoming a force to be reckoned with. John has made a name for himself in the entertainment industry, particularly in the fair circuit with his Farmer John Magic brand. He even has a second unit available to go. It goes on to say, I think John would be a good suggestion as well. And then finally, he says, Trino I can't pronounce his last name very well. Shinkario, a young man who is destined to be known by just one name, Trino, following in the footsteps of Keller, Dante, Blackstone, Houdini, Dunninger, and others. I really love Trino, and I'm extremely proud of him. His beautiful wife, Ashley, is an aerialist. Trino is a rising star of the magic community, known for his event planning skills and in the magic convention production like Wonder Bash, and also several other things that he has accomplished. I think Trino would be another good guest that I could have. So I appreciate those kinds of details. It's kind of helpful. If you just want to list the person's name when you send me something, that's fine. If you want to go into more detail, like what Al had done, that's great. So I have a little bit more background material about the person that you're suggesting. Sometimes I have already spoken to some of these people, like I did with Jeff Bibick and with Jessica Jane Peterson. So I would suggest if you just do a search on the Magic Word Podcast, there's a search bar there. You can go back and you can see and hear who it is that I've already spoken to. So it might save you a little bit of trouble saying, hey, you need to talk with so-and-so. Well, I've already spoken with so-and-so. And I tend to usually just have a person come on the podcast one time, although there are things that they accomplished since I first talked with them. But usually pretty much everything has already been said in that first conversation as far as their personality and getting to know them. Anyhow, that's kind of what I wanting to talk with you about, and what the Magic Whisper is about, is to, again, solicit some advice, let you know kind of what's going on. There are a couple other things I would like to talk to you about, but I'm going to save that until next week.
Share the whisper with other magicians and join us next time on The Magic Whisper. The Magic Whisper is a division of the MagicWordPodcast.com.